The war in Gaza knows no boundaries. Many in Southeast Asia find themselves resonating with different aspects of the situation. Reconciling differences in a multi-religious region remains deeply challenging as countries grapple with the realities of a polarizing conflict. In a survey carried out by IC's Yusof Ishak Institute this year, nearly 47% of respondents from Southeast Asia identified the Israel-Hamas conflict as their top geopolitical concern, putting it ahead even of tensions closer in the South China Sea. Muslim-majority countries like Malaysia, Brunei and Indonesia taking the lead, with Singapore following suit. About 42% say they think Israel's attack on Gaza has gone too far. The majority of countries in ASEAN condemned Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. Only the Philippines, Singapore and Cambodia designate Hamas as a terrorist organization. That is despite most considering the Hamas attack on Israel an act of terror amid rising concerns over the potential impact of that act. Around a third of respondents expressed fear of a rise in extremist activity that could then have an impact on security in the region, with many flagging diminishing trust in the strength of international law. This was particularly evident in those who oppose what they see as Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories. Respondents say religious divisions could erode social cohesion, vital to multicultural nations. Others expressed support for the stances taken by their governments. But with different member states holding different positions, there are also concerns over what that could mean for ASEAN.
Recognizing the state of Palestine is the least that we can do now to give Palestinians equal footing on the world stage.
A speech that sent ripples of applause through Indonesia, home to the world's largest Muslim population. Support also from demonstrators who swarmed Indonesia's US embassy in August following the killing of Hamas's leader Ismail Haniyeh. Incoming President Prabowo Subianto following in the footsteps of his predecessor Joko Widodo, saying his country is ready to send peacekeeping forces if needed, and reiterated calls for a ceasefire.
Indonesia's commitment to support a comprehensive and permanent ceasefire as an important step towards a real and lasting solution, towards real peace between Israel and Palestine, and thus real peace in the region.
Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who met the slain Hamas leader amid US scrutiny over the group's financial ties in Southeast Asia, echoed the sentiment.
Penilaian kita jelas. Tanpa mengira siapa, kita tidak bersetuju dengan apa-apa langkah yang mengenai orang-orang yang tidak berdosa. Tetapi dalam hal ini, Tan Sri Bertua, jika tidak ada tindakan tegas, ia akan jadi satu genocide war.
Malaysia became the first Asian country to host injured Palestinians, the Prime Minister granting refuge to more than 100, mainly women and children. The Philippines also hosts around 200 refugees from Gaza, while Indonesia says it's willing to take up to 1,000 and host them in Islamic boarding schools. Aid has flowed from all corners of ASEAN in the form of food, medicine and financial pledges. Governments have also increased efforts to repatriate nationals from both Gaza and Israel. At least 136 Filipino and Palestinian Filipino nationals have been evacuated since the conflict began. While in November, negotiators in Thailand worked to bring home 23 nationals held hostage by Hamas. At the recent General Assembly of the United Nations, there was a common voice from Southeast Asian governments for a humanitarian ceasefire.
We have consistently emphasized the need for the safe and unhindered provision of humanitarian aid to all civilians in need. And we reiterate our call for an immediate ceasefire and for the immediate, unconditional and safe release of all hostages.
In May this year, ASEAN members voted in unity for full UN membership for the Palestinian territories, as they did also on a series of resolutions linked to the Israel-Hamas war, with a permanent two-state solution the preferred long-term path.